This workshop is for the troubleshooting of underwater sealed chest drains. So this is how you will troubleshoot your drain. The very first thing you need to do is check the drain at the site of the patient. You want to look to ensure that your dressing is intact, that you've got no leaking around the site. And it's also important at this point to check that the drain has not migrated out of the chest, because remember, you have those side holes on your chest drain, so it's important to make sure none of those side holes have come outside of the body. So just having a really good look just to make sure everything's intact. Make sure that the chest drain itself has no kinks in it, and then just work your way down. So if you have a three-way tap in your connection, you want to make sure that the three-way tap is open. So that means that it is closed to the outside port and that it is open towards the patient and towards the chest drain bottle. You also at this point want to ensure that all your connections are tight, so ensure that these connections here, and also that you have a bung on and that they're all tightened. So continue down, checking for kinks. This connection particularly can become loose over time, so always take the time to make sure that that connection is tight. However, you shouldn't use any dressings or tape to secure this. You should just make sure it is tight. The chest drain bottle must always be lower than the patient. So you want to check that you haven't got any kinks in your tubing. Sometimes this can get trapped under the bed wheels, so just make sure this hasn't been squashed in any way. And then follow it all the way down to your bottle. When you get to your chest drain bottle, there are going to be a number of things that you need to check. First of all, you need to look in your collection chamber. On this bottle, it's here, so you want to just check how much fluid, if any, has come out of the patient and has gathered in your chest drain bottle. The next thing you want to check when you get down to your chest drain bottle is your underwater seal. On this bottle, it's this blue liquid here within this chamber. If there was a pneumothorax in the patient or you had an air leak, you would see bubbling in this blue water. So you need to check whether you were expecting to see bubbling in this chamber. For example, if your patient is known to have a pneumothorax, or actually if that is a change and that you shouldn't be seeing bubbling from a pneumothorax and that that's a new feature. You can also check for swinging in this chamber. You will see the blue water rise and fall. However, you can also check for swinging in your tubing, and you may see any fluid that's come out of the patient moving in time with the breath. When checking for bubbling and swinging, it's important that you remove the suction, like so, and replace it afterwards. Once you've checked this chamber, you're going to move on to checking your suction. You've obviously put water into your drain to create the underwater seal, so you need to make sure that you have got a tight connection where you added the water. You then want to make sure that you've got suction connected, and that if appropriate for your chest drain bottle, that you've got some bubbling in this chamber, which demonstrates that you've got suction present. So once you've checked your chest drain bottle, you're going to move up to checking your suction if you are required to be on suction. Make sure that you're connected here to the canister and also here, and make sure that your connections are tight. Make sure that the canister liner has been pushed in tightly, because sometimes this can prevent the suction from working effectively. Then moving up to your dial, very important to make sure that you are using Thoracic Suction, and you will turn that on and adjust your settings until you get gentle bubbling in the chest drain bottle.